OBS, gosh, you ever yap for like 2 minutes straight and then like it just doesn't pick up? You ever just yap for like 2 minutes straight? Okay, I was just talking about Doctor Stone here, talking about how we're not gonna talk about it too much because I'm not done with a single season yet. I'm only halfway done with season one, but it's very good so far. It's about a guy who he wakes up in the basically everyone turned to stone. He wakes up and now it's like several millennia in the future, and he has to survive with his wits and his like science knowledge, you know, such as his knowledge on like biology and geology and chemistry and all that stuff. It's a really compelling show actually. There's a lot of like science stuff involved. There's a lot of like strategy as to what to do when you want to survive. It's I really do like shows with like protagonists who like are very smart, like Light from Death Note, for example, or what's his name? I forgot his name. Gosh, or Lelouch from Code Geass. Those kinds of shows are the ones that are very fulfilling, I would say, when you have protagonists that just like know everything. Even Psyche, of course, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, no, we're not gonna officially rank it, but if it keeps on going, we'll give it a 10. Give it a 10 out of 10. Or 11 out of 10, even. That's how good it is. Because my list goes up to 11. My list goes up to 11 because I'm a. We like to go one step beyond, as the nostalgia critic once said. Well, he said that several times. But yeah, today, here's what we will be ranking. We will be ranking 9 shows. It's gonna be very, very fun. I should actually show you guys my what's it called? My Google spreadsheet list, because it's basically this, except it goes up to 11, and it's a bit cleaner. I would say. Well, okay. There's some areas that's messier, some areas that it's cleaner. Um, but yes, we have 138 things. Jeez, this I will never clean this thing, but eventually all the like decently well-known ones will be cleaned up, and then the finished ones will not the finished ones, the really obscure ones will be the ones left. But yes, we're gonna arrange it by score so that all the unknowns are at the bottom. Here we are. Here we are. So 9 shows. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. We're gonna go in order of when I watched it. So it's been 40 days. I started. Oh man, I don't remember. This was supposed to come out like March 7. My goal was the 7th of every month, but I got delayed by a few weeks. Life got really hectic, really busy, really stressful. I'm not going to talk about it. 40 days, it felt like 40 weeks. um, so there's that. Let's see the chat. Are you going to watch Nausea anime when it comes out? Yes, I will actually. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I did actually speak to Daniel about that last stream. I was like, hey, Daniel, there's a Nausea anime? And our reaction was like, how? There's no plot in that game. But the character designs are always cool, and maybe they'll focus on the werewolf stuff. That could be interesting. Sort of like a game where the viewers get to play along. They don't know who the werewolf is, and maybe there are clues here and there. That could be interesting. I think that could be very interesting. But for right now, we are going to be talking about the first one is Another. Now this one was like kind of a joke thing. Imaru, good friend of the channel, recommended Another, kind of as a joke, as a meme. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Just like, hey, I know you've been watching one or not one, but one or two anime per year. So here's like a little jokey joke anime. It's not that good. It's very like stupid. The characters just kind of it's like Final Destination, where the characters die in really over the top and extreme gruesome ways. And also it's supposed to be horror, but it's not really horror. It's very cheesy, very campy, and yeah, no, I do agree with that. In a way, but it's done in a way that I think it's not boring, because the pacing is pretty good, I would say. It's only 12 episodes, and people start dying around episode like 3. So it's all killer, no filler, I would say. Um, like, yeah, you don't really get to know many of the characters. They just kind of like drop like flies, and it's kind of interesting. And some of the twists are really corny, but also like, wow, this is like the room level entertainment. That one movie you were tearing me apart, Lisa. I can't say I recommend this to anyone, but like if you're like at a party and you're all drunk and you just want to laugh at something really stupid, and you want to like just shit on something for like a few hours, like 4 hours, 3 4 hours, Another is the show for you. It's a very unique show, in a sense that I would consider it kind of garbage, but also like there is some value to it if you just want to, turn your brain off and just laugh at something dumb. And because of that, I'm giving it a 7. I think this is like a show that I can see myself putting on in the background at like a party or something. Um, and just like, if anyone wants to like just see like the most gruesome, campy, like, this is randomly so intense for no reason story, then there you go. You can watch it if you don't want to be there. Obviously, like, kids can't be in this party because there's a lot of blood and stuff, but it's the kind of party that would exist. So yeah, next up we have. Oh, and I should probably say what year well, actually, let's do this. Imaru joke wreck. um. Next up, we have Your Lie in April, and River recommended this one a long time ago, actually. And this is one that I kind of knew about for a long time. I've always known about Your Lie in April. I know it's about piano playing, but I didn't know anything else beyond that. I do know that it's pretty popular, and people. I think I would confuse this with Your Name, because I know Your Name is a movie, of course, that was very influential. Your Lie in April was obviously the word "your" probably confused me at the start, but I knew that they were kind of like, both very world renowned and all that stuff. I saw this show, and I remember I really liked the animation. I don't know what it was, but the animation was just very crisp, very clear. Um, and initially, the first parts of this show, I did not enjoy that much. I think it was stuff about like family, um, you know, loving your family and abusive parents and the feeling of inadequacy, not feeling good enough. And I'm gonna sound really cocky and really privileged, but these are things that like don't really affect me. I can understand how they would affect most of the population, especially people who are more touchy feely, I guess. But this kind of stuff didn't really affect me. I'm a cocky motherfucker for one, and also my relationship with my parents is like very good. I know, shocker, shocker. Um, but Your Lie in April, even despite that, I still did think this was a very good show. I thought it was very emotional. I thought it was very like touching. Um, there is some stuff at the end where it really got dark, and I think like when I watched it at the time, I was like, this is like wow, this is harsh. Now that I'm a bit it's literally been a month, but now that like a month later, I'm like yeah, sometimes these things happen. Sometimes friendship isn't what you think it's gonna be. Sometimes people drift apart, and we're all in control of our fates. And like I don't know. I feel like for the most of the second half of the show, it takes place at a concert, and you focus on different characters giving a performance, and they all have their own unique backstory of like determination and stress and parental figures and stuff like that. And I think that is not the most compelling thing for me personally. Maybe for someone who is very goal oriented, who's like, I want to be the best singer, I want to be the best dancer, I want to be the best designer, right? But for me, someone who's like, I'm already god at everything. I'm like, it didn't affect me. But the ending though, the last like 5 6 episodes, it does take a very sharp turn that and like I'm just gonna say it now because I think it's kind of obvious what I'm alluding to. Usually when you talk about something taking a dark turn, it's usually like death, right? It's usually about death or murder or whatever, right? There's only so many things. When someone says, "Oh, this anime is messed up," you already know it's gonna be something like maybe like incest or overly sexual or whatever, right? There's only so many things it can be. But this is the one where I think most effectively, I do not want to spoil this one. Um, I will allude to it having a very, intense sort of ending, but I think the ending did affect me. I was like, wow, this is things usually don't affect me. This one did. This one absolutely did, and it's about life. I don't know. I really like. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. On my ranking, I gave it a in my ranking that goes up to 11. I didn't give it an 11, but I did give it a 10. Like 11 is like or not 11, but like 10 or higher is stuff that I'm like, yes, this is stuff that I will take with me to my grave. I will love it forever and ever. This one isn't quite there, but it's still like 10 out of 10. Like you can't go wrong with that. Um, but I understand that for other people, this can even be a life philosophy. This show can be a life philosophy or whatnot. Stressful backstories is in my cute anime. Yeah, it's very cute anime. Next up, number seven, or not number seven, the third show on the list is Noragami. And Noragami, Fen recommended this to me actually. This was a very interesting show, I think. This was one that I personally, I thought was only okay. I think at first, okay, so there's a bit of a backstory. I wrote a play back in 2019, and I think at one point there was a flashback sequence to 2014. So I googled 2014 anime, and Noragami was the first thing that came up. So I put it in my play as like one of the characters in my play watched Noragami, and it was like, oh yo, I'm gonna watch Noragami later. Now that I've seen it, I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't write that in my play. Noragami is such a it's an okay show. It's very okay at everything. I don't think it excels at anything amazingly. I don't think it does anything bad. I just think that like everything in the show is done better. I will say that the comparison I made was to a little show called The Devil's a Part-Timer, where it's about a god who works at McDonald's. This is somewhat similar, where it's about like gods, I guess, trying to find their place in the world, and they do like and the main guy, he's like kind of a troll type, and he does like little odd jobs here and there, like he cleans bathrooms, he walks dogs, he saves kitties from trees, just like I don't know why my OBS is flickering. It's weird, but it's one of those shows where I personally think was only okay. I don't think it did anything amazing. I think there were some arcs that were like, no, um, we gotta save this person, or oh gosh, this person is in the underworld, or oh no, they forgot who I am. They have amnesia, or their mind was wiped. And I don't know. Nothing in this show really like stuck home. None of the characters were like these are super iconic, memorable characters. I know this show gets called underrated, but also otherwise forgotten to time. And I do think the reason is because it's unmemorable. Maybe if this was like one of the first few I've seen, and if I was a bit younger, then maybe. But now in my ripe old age of 23, I'm not that old. I'm really not that old, you guys. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'll give it a 6. Like it's one of those things where when you finish watching it, you'll be like, I'm not gonna remember much of this, and I don't. It I don't know. It's okay. It's harmless. It's okay. Nothing excelled, but nothing was awful. 23 yuck. Next up we have Himoto Umaru-chan, recommended by Imaru. Put that there. This one was one. This is, you know. Oh, hello. Okay, there. I don't know why it lagged so much. To write that down. This one was it's a comedy show, and it focuses on this like perfect girl kind of archetype, the archetype. Except whenever she's at home, she kind of becomes this like lazy bum. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is freaking out. Why is my Wi-Fi freaking out? I'm not doing anything heavy. I'm literally just doing an anime stream. Anyway, she just turns into kind of like a lazy bum, and her brother has to take care of her. And the comedy comes from the fact that she's really lazy. She like makes it, she just gives her brother a hard time. And occasionally she has friends here and there. Occasionally she'll have like little hijinks where maybe her cover. Why is it freaking out? I'm not streaming. There's like nothing. I guess there's nothing on stream. I'm literally not even moving the mouse. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's I like Kobayashi, so I'm here to see what you think of it. I'm trying to recall what about Umaru-chan, because like it's one of those I don't know the word for it. Not segments. I keep saying segments. Like Saturday Night Live shows where they have like little clips here and there, and sometimes they're like 5 minutes long, sometimes they're 8 minutes long, sometimes they're like 12 minutes long. Um, it doesn't have much of a plot. It's slice of life, very standard slice of life stuff. And from what I heard in 2015, this was like a big meme. I think Umaru was to the level of meme worthy that like Anya Forger is now, where you just post it as a joke, right? Little girl as a joke. Um, I did like the show. I did like it enough because it focuses on a little sister being kind of a little shit, and the big brother has to take care of her. And I do like that because usually the problem with like older siblings in these kinds of shows is that they're always treated like the golden child, and I get it from the perspective of a younger sibling. I can understand why that would be annoying, right? Because it's like, oh, the older sibling gets everything. They get all the good food and the good clothes, and the parents love them, and it's like the younger sibling has to live in the shadow of their legacy. I get that. Ultimately, I get that. It's a very like real world problem, but it's like I sometimes I want to see the perspective of the older sibling. Like they're not always bullies. Sometimes they're very supportive to their younger siblings, and the younger siblings can always can sometimes come across as like bratty or self-centered or selfish or just like young, you know? And I think this show is one of the few shows where you have an older brother who really cares about his younger sister, even though she's very annoying, she's very stressful to work with, she's very like selfish sometimes, but the older brother cares for her, and I love that. I love that dynamic. I think at a certain point, season two, they start introducing more friend characters, and you know they're all right. I think that part of the show kind of lost me. I do think the joy was seeing the brother sister dynamic because that's just not really something you see in anime that you know where it isn't incestuous. Usually it becomes incestuous, but this one's not for the most part. This one's not. Um, but yeah, season two did lose me a bit. And I will admit that some of the jokes just not that funny. Not that funny. There's no gag in the show that I would say like stuck in my mind too much, other than like just drinking cola, you know, because I like cola. I like soda. Soda's good. Um, and this show also has the Nanbaka problem where there's just no ending, right? It just kind of closes, and I understand that some shows just do that. Some shows just end, especially a comedy. Comedies don't necessarily need an ending, right? But Psyche had it. You know, Daily Lives had it. You know, this one didn't really. It just kind of like, oh, that's the end, and no more episodes. Bye bye. Made me a bit sad because I do think that this show deserved it, and you know, I do think the potential of like, oh, what if her friends realize that she's kind of lazy in real life? You know, her real persona is that she's lazy, right? That's a question that isn't answered, and I don't think it is answered even in the manga. So it's like, you seem fine to me. I hear you fine. There's no issues stream side. Less creative, be creative with jokes that having to worry about tight continuity. It doesn't have the I word. Yeah, it does not have the I word. I'll tell you that. That's enough about that. I will say it's quite an annoying show if you're not into characters being really annoying and music being really annoying, and sometimes the visuals are like a little over the top and too bright. Not to the level of No Game No Life. It's not like seizure inducing, but yeah, I would give it a. I'll give it like a seven. I'll give it like a seven. I don't particularly think this is the funniest comedy ever. But I think it's cute. I think it's cute, and I think it doesn't have like you know the highest like goals ever. Like it's not trying to be something it's not. So yeah, I don't know why my OBS is freaking out. It is. I'm literally not even moving the mouse. It's freaking out. Okay, whatever. What is next? What is next? Next up, we have Occultic 9. This was Noelle's recommendation. This is another, like, okay, so I'm gonna say this now, because it does annoy me sometimes. Like, I don't want to prevent anyone from recommending stuff, but, can y'all please chill with Rex where you don't remember it? Because I want to talk about them, but if you don't remember them, then I can't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, Code Geass kind of had that problem where four different people recommended to me it, and like none of the four remembered it that well. So I'm like, really? Then I can't talk about it. And I get it. Some stuff are like recommendations from like 5, 10 years ago. So like, yeah, memory's not the best. But like, I want to talk about it. This is a good show. This is one of those shows that has a lot of things I like. It's sci-fi. It's like Zero Escape, Steins Gate, blah blah blah. It's in the Steins Gate universe. Actually, it's made by the same people that made Steins Gate, so that makes sense. I love that series. Very science fictiony. It has a group of friends and they like bicker and they solve a mystery. It kind of feels okay. This is weird. It feels like they're trying to do Danganronpa and they're actually doing it better. I'm not just saying like because of the mystery stuff and the random twists of like, oh, you're actually this. Oh, you're actually this. Oh, we're actually, I'm gonna make up a fake twist. We're actually like skeleton zombies the whole time. I'm making up fake twists because I don't want to spoil. But oh, this person's been dead for 3 years. Like those kinds of twists. And some of them are like, yeah, this is really well done because it's not like a manga where some context is missing. I think because this was an anime first, it has to have all the context in one go. I will say though, for a show that was only ever gonna get one season, one of the most abrupt endings ever. I think the ending, without spoiling, the ending is like, oh, we must save the day, okay, and then the show ends in like 5 minutes, and it's like, what? I feel like you were building up to like a big battle at the end, and they just didn't do it. And to be fair, I think what they were doing was that they were making it so that, oh, if you want to see the ending, play the video game, or play either the visual novel or buy the light novel that was going to come out. And because it never came out, the show, it has an ending, but it feels very undercooked, I think, because it doesn't have that final battle that it's kind of setting up. Um, but yeah, no, the mysteries are really good. I think the characters are very fun. I do think there's a few too many characters. It's one of those things where it's like you can tell they really wanted to set up like, it's called the Cultic Nines. They're trying to set up 8 or 9 or 10 main characters, but you really couldn't do that in the limited time. Some characters they get like 1.5 episodes to their name, and that's really it. Um, but yeah, no, I do think the world feels lived in. It has flaws. Don't get me wrong. It's probably the most flawed thing here out of the things I'm ranking, but it has its charm. I don't know if I recommend it honestly because like I would recommend like Zero Escape and Science Gate and all that stuff first. Especially because again, like I said, this got abandoned. There's no there's no continuation. I think the creator was like, I'm lazy. I'll still give it a 9 though. This is like this is like guilty pleasure level where I know it's very flawed, but I still like it. Very, very guilty pleasure. Very guilty pleasure. Let me die. Hello, welcome to the stream. Let me die. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat right now. The worst gag, the juxtaposition of the prim and proper to neat in their house really irked me. Yeah, no. I get what you're talking about. Umaru-chan was I don't know. I think that was the premise of the show, and I think that premise could work, except after a while it just got a little annoying. I really like the Umaru-chan is fun, goofy, like cute girl shows like Bratz a little too much. The Elephant Lead Studio. I never thought that problem like certain old people. What? Big Night Island just dropped. I think I'm gonna watch that instead. God. Um, we're three. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a quick stream. We're almost done. There's only 3 left. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Very entertaining show, I would say. I was warned from the start. Hey, the show is weird. The show. If you watch this show, um, people who like the show are people who like children. That's the nicest way of saying it. And I kind of like understand that because Azumanga Daioh is also kind of like that, where the fan base is very sus. Even though the characters are 18, there's a lot of like like look at the designs. They're very like young coded, and there's just a lot of weirdos, right? I get that. I will say, it is not as weird as people made it out to be. There is like one subplot with a little boy and his dragon maid that is like, I'm like that's not okay. But at this point, I've seen 88 anime. It's not like shocking anymore. It's not like I'm not saying it's okay, but it's something that's like okay, that's just anime. Some anime they do weird shit sometimes. Um, like is it any weirder than like Occultic 9? Is it any weirder? I forgot Bungo Stray Dogs. We'll get to Bungo Stray Dogs later. Is it any weirder than like Occultic 9? Is it any weirder than Your Lie in April? Is it any weirder than Grand Blue? No. Maybe like maybe a tiny bit more weird, but it's all just fucking weird at this point. It's all noise at this point. Um anyway, it's about this girl who's very like nonchalant, and she gets a dragon maid who I think has a crush on her. I'm pretty sure has a crush on her, and they go on little misadventures about normal life. Again, it's in that realm of like Noragami, Devil's a Part Timer, kind of like um supernatural elements play into the real world, and that can be funny. And I think here it's played pretty decently, I would say, because the girl is really a fish out of water, and she's very socially awkward. Not socially awkward, but the main girl is very like nonchalant, very deadpan, and you have the dragon maid who is like a manic pixie dream girl almost. And I think it works. I think it does work. I think ironically enough, and I've only seen one season of this, but ironically enough, the last few episodes teased a bit of a plot where it's like, oh, dragon maid, we're taking you have to go to the dragon world now. You can't be here, and that was interesting. This is one of those shows where even though it's supposed to be an episodic sitcom, I actually liked it when it had a plot. There's some shows that I'm like, don't give this a plot. Please just keep it episodic. It's so fun when it's episodic. But this is the opposite, where I'm like, oh man, the plot is actually kind of interesting. um, I don't know. I like a lot of the gags, a lot of the goofs. Even though I think I was like, okay, this is a bit fetishy, but at this point, again, that's just anime. Like at a certain point, you just have to accept that anime can be fetishy at times, and it's you just gotta not maybe not accept it, but you just gotta be like, okay, let's put a weirdness filter on so it doesn't phase you as much. Um, Dragon Maid is obligatory 8 because of... Okay. I mean, I'm not actually sure what you're talking about. You're talking about COVID? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. Dragon Maid, I will give it a... How much am I gonna give it? How much am I gonna give it? I'm gonna give it an 8. It's something that I found, like... I found it cute, you know? I think, you know, I hope the characters are of equal, or not equal, but like, you know, around the same age, and they can be a positive lesbian relationship, even though maybe the Dragon Maid's a little too clingy. Other than that, I like that dynamic where one is very like clingy and the other one is very like deadpan and very like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's great. I'm gonna skip to Grand Blue. I'm gonna skip Bungo Stray Dogs for now. I'll get back to Bungo Stray Dogs. But Grand Blue is I've said this a bajillion times. I'll say it again. It's just the daily lives of college boys. It's not even like dubbed either, so that helped the parallel because Daily Lives is also not dubbed. It's a bunch of college boys doing dumb shit, and they go on adventures. They try to hit up girls. They go surfing. You know, they go to like vacation and stuff. Like most like school or slice of life anime have that episode where they're on vacation. They go to the beach. This show is just like every beach episode, every vacation episode, but for 12 episodes, right? For a whole season. I don't know. It's the animation's very beautiful. This is one where you look at the ocean in the show, you look at the undersea life, you go on like a boat, and it's like this is beautiful. Like the scenery is beautiful. They're in like I don't know where they are. They're on like an island in Japan, I think. And it's just very beautiful. If you just want dudes doing like dumb shit and like the jokes are very like adolescent teenage boy jokes, but at least they're college students. At least they are of age. Then this is the show for you. Like, there's these two bros, and most of the time in the show, they're just getting drunk and getting naked, and that's like the gag is that they're just not wearing clothes, and they're always like on not on drugs, but like on out, you know, drunk out of their minds. It's like, oh gosh. I don't really think anyone recommended this to me. I think like for a while I thought some people recommended this to me, but in hindsight I'm like, yeah, no one recommended this to me. Like I don't know anyone in our little friend group that likes this show, so I'm just gonna say JPEG rec. I guess I just found this by myself. Recommended Kobayashi. I think that was also Mirek. I don't. Mirek is in like I just found it online. I don't think anyone specifically recommended this. Um, there's a season 2 coming out, which is cool. It's very like I wouldn't say it's plot heavy. I think it's more character driven, where the characters just realize, oh, we're all friends, we're all cool, we're all here to help each other out, and maybe some of us will get girlfriends, some of us will, you know, some of the girls will enjoy our tomfoolery, but we're just here to have a good time. And I will say that, like, if this was like summer, if this was like, you know, June or July, then yeah, this would probably fit my mood more. You know, that summer vacation sort of like, oh, we're taking time away from school. Actually, I think they do go to school. Weirdly enough, I think they're in summer school. You know, if I lived on like an island and I could go to the beach every day, this show would be like the perfect representation of that. I'll give it a. What am I gonna give it? I will give it a. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. Nah, I'll give it an 8. I think nine's too generous. I'll give it an 8. So yeah, there's a Grand Blue Dreaming. Go watch it. The firebombing of the studio. Oh right. I forgot about that. Yeah, they constantly are drunk, and when they try to get them sober, the guys give them tea halfway to his. Yeah, there's this one gag where they I forgot what it was, but they there's like a ritual where they have to drink something, and like people keep on adding alcohol. Um, they're trying to like water the drink a bit more so it's not nearly as alcoholic, but then they keep on adding alcohol, and it's like no, stop adding alcohol. That's kind of funny. Bungo Stray Dogs season 1 is the second to last one, I guess, on the list. Even though I watched it earlier. I just missed it. Sorry, I got too distracted. I saw Cultic 9 and then Kobayashi. I missed Bungo Stray Dogs entirely. This is one that I was recommended like 3 years ago now by a group of people that I don't really talk to anymore. But yeah, they recommended it, and I must say it is very. It's not like I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing like chosen one sort of like quote unquote shonen show ever, but I do think that it does remind me of MHA, as in all the characters kind of have like powers, but they're all like detective powers, like to help with their suspicions and deductive reasoning and whatnot. It's a pretty good show. Um, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say other than there's like lots of teams, lots of organizations, and sometimes they double cross each other, and that can be cool. Um, I do want to visit it because I know it has more seasons. I only watched season one, so I'm sure that there's a lot of cool stuff down the road. But for right now, I'm gonna give it a 9. I think like I probably dropped it at, not dropped it, but like because for some of these shows I'm only gonna watch one season. I dropped it at a time where I'm like, we're just starting to get to know the characters, and it's again, if I was a little younger, if I was like maybe 19 or 20, I would probably be all over the show. But since I'm slightly older now, I'm like, there's more stuff out there for me. Um, for me to really stick with a show that's a bit longer, it really needs to grab my attention. Doctor Stone has. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch as much as I can until I get like bored or if it starts dropping off. But Bungo Stray Dogs is like okay. Season one was like pretty good. Again, 9 out of 10. Nothing offensive. Very cool concepts, but the characters haven't gripped me just yet. You know what I mean? And I think that the more anime I watch, the harder it's gonna be to do that. I think that's gonna be the problem. Is that like you really need to grab my attention for me to stick around for such a long sort of show. Um, keep what is GBD? Grand Blue Dreaming? Oh yeah, Grand Blue Dreaming. BSD. Shh, shh, shh. You have my respect for Acxeleon JFK. God dang it. Okay, last one on the list. Rascal does not dream of bunny girls. Okay, so there's a running joke on the channel. In my personal life where people say I like bunny girls. I don't know where that comes from. It's not true. I do like Judy Hopps though. Judy Hopps from Zootopia. She's cool. No, but for real. I really like this show. I'm my favorite anime ever, and honestly, I might reevaluate this as I'm like rewatching stuff from when I started this journey back in August 2023. Again, only like a year and 8 months ago. A year and 8 months ago. Um, as I'm reevaluating older shows now that I have more context and more knowledge and more friends who are also weebs. Um, Rascal Haruhi Suzumiya is my number one show. This show is thematically, it has a lot of like not connections, but a lot of like overarching themes. I think stuff like growing up, um, you know, sometimes within a school, sometimes the school's not super important, but sometimes the school is important. And there are themes of like sci-fi sort of like themes, even though the show, I wouldn't classify the show as sci-fi at all. I wouldn't classify it that, but there are sci-fi concepts where every arc is a different girl is going through stuff that can relate. Like one time it's like this girl feels invisible. She feels like no one can see her, and that's a relatable thing to many high school students, right? Or even college students. So literally, what the show does, it literally makes her invisible. There's another one where the little sister and the big sister, the little sister is really jealous of the big sister and really wants, to have her life, or whatever, looks up to her to the point where it's like, I wish I was you, so that I wish I was you because like everyone loves you and no one loves me, and so they literally like switch bodies because of it. You know, there's this one girl who is like living a double life basically. She feels split with her identity, and so because of that, she literally becomes two different versions of herself. There's this one girl who feels like she's like, I don't know, like repeating life over and over again. So because of that, there's a Groundhog Day loop where she and this guy are now forced to relive the same few days or few weeks over and over and over again. It's just it's really compelling stuff. Where obviously it's fictional, it's fantastical, but it does have like real world like allegories, I guess. Real world, what's the word I'm looking for? Illusions, where you can be like, okay, so that's what they're going for. This is like a not exaggerated, but a very thematic, example of what people go through in high school, and I think that's really cool. Um, it's kind of like a harem, like the guy is set up to only have the one girl. Like, I wouldn't call it like a harem show, but it does teeter around that a bit. I won't lie. Um, it does remind me of like those visual novel shows like Clannad. Clannad is probably the big analogy because Clannad also has a lot of like sci-fi stuff going on, even to the point of having like time travel elements and like invisible girl, maybe not time travel elements, time loop elements. and Invisible Girl sort of elements. Um, it does remind me of like the visual novel shows like Clannad and Air and Steins Gate and what's the other one? There's another one, Higurashi, kind of right, but it's not a visual novel, and that I think is perfect because it was inspired by light novels, not visual novels. So because of that, I feel like visual novel adaptations are always kind of missing some things don't translate well when you cross mediums or even cross languages. Like some things will need to be cut, some context will need to be cut. Here, because it's not a visual novel, it emulates that feeling, but without the jankiness, I guess. And I really love that. I really think that this show is like on my ranking, I gave it a 10.4 out of 10. So I'm gonna give it a 10 here. Um, it's a very good show. I haven't seen the movie yet. I plan on seeing it soon. I'm sorry, I got distracted with a little show called Doctor Stone. But there's that. So yeah, that's my list, everybody. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girls is the kind of show that I'm like, yeah, I wish I saw this a lot earlier. I regret watching it. There are a lot of shows I'm like, I wish I saw this earlier in my life. But like, obviously, I can't like predict it, and I just got too many goddamn shows to watch. I just got too many goddamn shows to watch. Why is it lagging? Don't lag. Judy Hopps isn't a bunny girl. She's just a bunny. Why are you getting defensive? Hello, local Pakistani. Um, it's Monogatari without the style. It's A1 crack as helping girls that are SCPs. That's funny. I have not seen Monogatari, so perhaps if when I do see it, I will change my opinion. I have wanted to get into it, but it's really long, right? And I love doing this challenge. Don't get me wrong, this challenge is super fun, but I think because of that, I'm kind of like typecast and pigeonholed into watching stuff per year. So if someone recommends me like JoJo, for example, I'm sorry, I can't do it right now. I'm doing this challenge. It's almost done. Doctor Stone is 2019, so I'm like nearing the end. I only have like 5 more years to go. 5 more years, but I think like 12 more shows to go. We're nearing the end of the challenge, I'll tell you that. Like, I started January 1. It is currently March 21, so give it like maybe like 2 more months, maybe 2 or 3 more months, and then I'll be done. And then I can finally watch other shows again. It's been a fun challenge. I'm kind of sad that it's we're nearing the end. Um, are we way too late in his life? Yeah, you're never too late to grow. Unpopular opinion, but I really like Boku. I really like MHA. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Bunny Girl is Cloverworks, not A1. Let me die. If you're interested, join the Discord server if you want to talk about anime. We talk about anime all the time. Um, when are you watching One Piece? I actually do plan on watching One Piece soon. My plan after the challenge, is that I'm gonna check out some shorter things for now. But then after like maybe a few weeks of checking out shorter things, like and by short I mean like 6 to 12 episodes, um, I plan on watching the Long Boys, right? I plan on watching Naruto, right? And maybe not Bleach because the one guy that likes Bleach is not in the server anymore. Um, well, I know no, Queenie likes Bleach. Maybe I'll check it out for Queenie. But Naruto, maybe Pokemon, maybe there's another one. JoJo definitely, and then probably One Piece. There's another Long Boy that I'm forgetting. What's the Long Boy I'm missing? It's not crap. I forgot what it was. Maybe Dragon Ball for Brosuke. I don't know. I don't know. Check out the Long Boys. I do watch things at a pretty good pace, especially if it's like a long like Doctor Stone. Doctor Stone is like 70 episodes, and my plan right now, and this is gonna derail the whole project, but my plan, as long as it's good, I'm gonna watch as long as it's good. The second it like drops off for like 5 episodes in a row, then I'm like, okay, I had my fun. We're moving on. We'll watch it later. We'll watch it later in life. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna quickly show you everything on the list right now. The plan to watch list is 46 things. All right, we have This is meant to be Monogatari. I know this is technically not the correct one, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the correct ones, and I don't know what the correct one is. But Monogatari's on the list. Angel Beats. This is a must see. Apparently, like I've seen more and more people talk about how good this is. Bakuman. I don't know. I don't know. We'll think about it. Banana Fish definitely. This is like now that like I'm more okay with subbed stuff. Definitely Banana Fish. Bleach. Bleach is like I don't know, man. We'll give it a try. Blue Lock is absolutely. This is the 2022, I think, 2022 thing, so this is coming up soon. Bocchi the Rock. Yeah, I mean, not soon, but eventually. Carol and Tuesday is like after Doctor Stone. This is like the second Doctor Stone gets bad. I'm watching Carol and Tuesday. Charlotte, I don't know. We'll see. Cyberpunk, I don't know. Down to Down is on the list. It's the 2024 show, I think. 2024. Demon Slayer. This is like just always been on the list. I'm like this is like one of the last like really big ones. That's not like a long boy that I need to see. I don't even know who recommended Doro. I don't even know what this is, to be honest. I don't know who recommended this. Dr. Stone is currently I'm watching. Fooly Cooley is very short. I actually saw one of the episodes. It's pretty good so far. I should probably watch it all in one go though, because it's only 6 episodes. Fan recommended this one. Food Wars. I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know about this one, Chief. Gurren Lagann. Yep, absolutely. This one soon. Oh, Haikyuu. That's the other long boy. Haikyuu is like, I don't know. Not soon, but eventually. JJK is on the list for 2020. That's coming up soon. This is not a JPEG rec. This is a SHA rec. Let me edit that. It's not a JPEG, right? There we go. Komi, that's coming up soon. Monster. This is another one of the long boys that I'm like, yeah, definitely. This one, I only saw this one because I was told that this is like similar to Death Note and Code Geass, and I do love both those shows. So, Mushishi. I was told this one's like what's it called? Kino's Journey. So we'll check this one out. Dress Up Darling. This one's kind of a meme wreck, and it is coming up soon on the timeline. So, this one I absolutely have to see. This one I've been trying to get into, but again, challenges in the way. This is another one that like I've really been meaning to get into. I know a lot of people love this one. Platinum End I heard is it's made by the same people that made Death Note, so that'd be cool. Princess Tutu. I don't remember. Was this Amaro or Quinny? It was one of the two. I don't remember. I think Amaro. I'm not sure. Ranma's coming up soon as well. This one is one of the ones that I'm like probably gonna get rid of. Like I don't know about this one, Cheap. Review Starlight. That's not soon, but something I want to get into. School Live. I don't know. It's probably like later in life. Solo Leveling's on the list. Soul Eater. I don't know, man. This is a Daniel rec. He said it's similar to like Bebop and stuff, and I like that. So this is soon. I don't know about this one, Chief. I don't know about Sao. Not a priority. Talentless Nana, I don't know. Don't know anything about this. Dangers in My Heart. It's up there. It's coming up soon. This one's not even out yet. But Noelle says that the manga is very good, so yeah. Don't even know what this one is. Tokyo Revengers. This one is on the list. I don't remember. But no, one of Ranma and this one is on the list. I think this one's on the list. It's supposed to be the reboot though, not the old one. I think it's the old one. There's another River Wreck. Don't know what this is about. Yuri on Ice. That's another must see, but not right now. And Oshinoko. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I think I'm past. Well, I think Oshinoko is the perfect like watch it when you're a beginner, but once like you're past that, then you don't need to see it. If you're like, if you've seen more than 10 shows, then you don't need to see it anymore. But yeah, lots of big names. I haven't added the One Pieces or the Naruto's just yet, but it's my goal, and the JoJo's, of course, of the world. There's another big one. I forgot Robin. Oh, gosh, I don't remember what it was, but Robin told me about it. Oh well. Oh well. As for the on hold list, we have Ippo, Hunter x Hunter, JoJo. JoJo's like the one that's like probably gonna be the first I get to. This one is like I'll get to it. Kill la Kill as well. Kill la Kill is the one that I ranked technically, even though I like barely even started it. This is one of the ones that I need to finish. I don't know about Konosuba. I don't know about Magi. I'm actually MHA maybe. On Punch Man, I think I'm better left abandoning this one. Psychopaths might need to rewatch. ReZero is definitely one that I also need to watch. Devil's a Part-Time. I'll watch it for Brosuke. But yeah, lots of things on the list. After the challenge, I'm just gonna watch things that are like 12 episodes before jumping into the long boys. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah. How are all of you doing? I've been ranting for a while. I need to watch JJK one day. Watch Demon Slayer now. No, sorry. I like Bocchi. Make it my rec. I have not watched Boki. Why? I thought you mentioned Bocchi, Enderlads. I thought that was you. It has Dragon Ball. How can it be bad? Bake Monogatari. Yeah, that's the name I was looking for. Yeah. You should watch the 3 movies for the. You can watch the 3 movies for the Monogatari. Interesting. Banana Fish is gonna be rough, especially it's the same genre as Cruising and Paris. Oh god. I got bored of Demon Slayer and stopped watching it. And shit! Same genre, being bad or musicals. Ranma is also me. What about the Danganronpa musical? What about the Death Note musical? Oh yeah, all right, okay. I might as well mention this now. I'm rewatching Death Note, and it's better than I remembered. I'll tell you that. It's better when you're not binging it all in one night. But yeah, LGBT crime movies. Cruising is an alright movie. Oshinoko. You should add Orb. You should add Orb on the movement. Oh, okay. Orb. Okay, sorry. I thought that was the end of the sentence. You should add Orb. It's like, what's Orb? Orb on the movements of the Earth. Okay. All right. And then we'll add, what's the other one? What's the other one I wanted to add? Oh, Bako Monogatari. Wait, how's it spelled? Bake, or bake. Bake. There it is. There we go. That's why I couldn't find the name. God dang it. Gotta fix the name so that people like me who are dumb can find it easier. um I was the one I wrecked was Dangers in My Heart. MHA is hated, but I really love it. You should add Orb. Seven Deadly Sin. Ah, I'll tell you. Okay, yeah. There are okay. I did make a list a while ago because I'm gonna be honest. It's because I was in a bookstore I wasn't even in Japan. I was in Thailand, and I was in a manga store and I saw some pretty interesting manga, some stuff that I was like I should check out the anime of that, and one of them was Seven Deadly Sins. I will admit I know it has a bad rep, and I know it is significantly longer, but there's some things that like human curiosity, the human side of me is like I want to check that out just to see like how bad it is and if it is truly as bad as people make it out to be. Sakamoto Days is another one, and like as a joke, because our friend Edward doesn't actually watch things, um, but as a joke, we were like, you know what, because he heard about it, like as a joke, we'll add it as an Edward rank. Rent a Girlfriend's another one. The Slime one. Black Clover. Seven Deadly Sins. Freinen, Fire Force, and Blue Period. I think Blue Period is a movie though. Freinen is part of the challenge, so I will add that just for now. If I know how to spell it, I don't know how to spell it. Here, that's the wrong letter. There we go. What? What? Freinen at the Journey's End. Journey's End. There we go. Yep. 28 episodes. Jeez. Longer than I thought. And yeah. Seven Deadly Sins. Am I ever gonna finish my list? Probably not. I'll probably never finish this list. But I'm making progress. I make faster progress than most people do. So that's not the right one, right? I don't know what the right one is. I'll just count this. I'll fix it later. I don't care. Yeah, no, I'm never gonna finish the list, but I mean 77 things? 77. It's not a bad number. 77 things. And most of these are like completely finished. I watched all the content that all the content in the main show, or all of not this actually. Technically not this. And also not Bungo Stray Dogs. Yeah, okay, I need to edit some things. I only put them here because of for the sake of the ranking, right? Not this one either. This one's also on hold. When I'm actually done, it'll be tragic. And it's done. Wait, should I put it on completed just for the sake of, because there's an anime game that we play on Discord, and usually it pulls from things from our watch lists, and I'm wondering if like it counts if it's in on hold. I feel like it does, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if it does. Does it? Amaru, can you confirm if like when you do my list, does it pull up like Hunter x Hunter? Does it pull up JoJo? Does it pull Kaguya? Does it pull Kill la Kill? I feel like it does, but I'm not sure. Um, I don't know. Does it? Because like if it doesn't, then I'll just put it on completed just for the sake of like pulling it on the anime game, just so there's more variety. But yeah. He can't spell. Orb was so bizarre that an anime about heliocentrism got funded and made the same year Dandadan was in production. Oh man. I watched Dandadan without any warning and I was absolutely flabbergasted seeing the first episode. You're gonna be so old when you finish this. I'm already old now. It's good anime. I was a bit shocked. 1,000 anime and I watch this. And I watch this. The double the size. I need it. 1,000. I mean, 1,000 anime is doable. I think. I think 1,000 anime is doable. I'm already at like 100. Like I'm about to hit 100. So just I've been doing it for a year and a half. So like multiply that by 10. That's what, like 15 years. That's not the worst. Like that's 15 years. But if it doubles every day, then you're never gonna finish it, right? So I take 1,000 anime. Like that's like 15 years of content. Especially now that I'm speeding up because I found Crunchyroll and well, okay, I'm not gonna have free time forever. I have free time right now because of school and work and life, but I won't have it forever. I'll tell you that. um, but yeah, I've been needing to watch Hunter x Hunter for a while. I don't know where to watch it. Watch it on Crunchyroll. About to hit 100 is what you'll say when you finish all these animes. No, I'm at like I'm at like oops, I'm at like 88 right now actually. Yeah, I'm at 88 or 87 right now. Dr. Stone is number 87 on the list, so so it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. I think the year challenge only has like 10, 12 more to go. So if it keeps up then yeah, the challenge will end at number 100. It's great. I don't really intend to stop, but eventually I'm sure life will get in the way and I probably won't update the GGP anymore. I won't update this channel about my little journey. That's okay. It's okay. We all watch things. He doesn't know. Maybe he's already at 100 and that's why he didn't get it. What? Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. You meant okay. You meant age. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Hey, more things to talk about. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I will go now, but yeah, no. See you guys. I don't want to say. I guess I'll try for like early May. Yeah, let's do early May so that we have a account for the entirety of April, right? The end of March and the beginning of April. Yeah, let's do that. The count. I'm trying to do it like every 30-ish days, but I keep on like losing scheduling. I keep on losing myself. But yeah, we'll try for early May. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Goodbye. 100-year-old birthday stream. God, that's 77 years from now. God.